All right, thanks everyone for joining us here today with Nature Tales. We are so excited to talk to you today about one of my favorite subjects. Yes, John, we are going to talk about worms. How many of you have seen a worm? Give me a thumbs up if you've seen a worm. Thumbs down if you have no idea what a worm is. Oh, I have lots of thumbs up. That's really good. All right, yeah. So today we're going to talk a little bit about worms. And I have this really funny book. I think this book is really good. It's called Diary of a Worm. And we're going to talk a little bit more about worms. So, a diary or a journal is something that you write down like your thoughts or your feelings every day. Okay. Do any of you keep a journal or a diary? Give me a thumbs up if any of you do a diary or thumbs down. All right. So a diary is something that you can do like every day or every week. Yeah. So that is what this worm is doing. Okay. He's writing down his thoughts and feelings for the day. Okay. So that's what it means for diary or journal. Okay. So let's look at a life of a worm, shall we? All right. It's called Diary of a Worm. All right. Mom says there are 3 things I should always remember. The earth gives us everything we need. When we dig tunnels, we help take care of the earth. And never bother Daddy when he's eating the newspaper. Oh my goodness. Do your dads eat newspapers? No? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So March 29th, today, I tried to teach Spider how to dig. First of all, his legs got stuck. Says, I think I twisted one of my ankles. Then he swallowed a bunch of dirt. Worm says, I give up. Tomorrow, he's going to teach me how to walk upside down. So do you think a spider is very good at digging holes? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh, no, I see a lot of no, that maybe a spider wouldn't dig a very... Now, let's predict. Do you think a worm is going to be very good at walking upside down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? We think a worm's going to walk upside down? Let's see. Uh-oh. It says worms cannot walk upside down. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it says April 4th. Fishing season started today. So we dug deeper. It says, do you hear something? Look, somebody's digging up worms. Have any of you dug up worms to go fishing? Thumbs up, thumbs down? No? Oh, boy. Here we go. April 10th. It rained all night and the ground was soaked. So we spent the entire day on the sidewalk. Hopscotch is a very dangerous game. Look at those worms. Oh my goodness. They don't like hopscotch, do they? April 15th. I forgot my lunch today. I got so hungry that I ate my homework. Oh my goodness. Do you eat your homework? No? My teacher made me write, I will not eat my homework 10 times. And when I was finished, I ate that too. Oh my goodness. Now worms eating paper. That's so silly. Oh. April 20th. I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. I wiggled up right between them and they screamed. I love it when they do that. Oh, worm likes to scare people. Oh my goodness. Is any of my friends afraid of worms? Do I have some friends that are afraid of worms? Most of my thumbs down. Okay. We're pretty brave, huh? May 1st. Grandpa taught us that manners are very important. So today I said good morning to the first ant I saw. Good morning. There were 600 more of them in line. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Nice to see you. Howdy. Good morning. I stood there all day. Wow. Uh-oh, look at this. May 8th. I had the worst nightmare last night. Giant birds were playing hopscotch. Mom says I have to stop eating so much garbage right before bed. Oh my goodness. May 15th. I got into a fight with Spider today. He told me you need legs to be cool. Then he ran, and I couldn't keep up. Maybe he's right. May 16th. I made Spider laugh so hard, he fell out of his tree. Who needs legs? Look at how silly Worm is. Oh my goodness. All right, May 28th. Last night we had the school dance. You put your head in, you put your head out. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. But that's all we could do. June 5th. Today in art class, we made macaroni necklaces. I brought mine home and we ate it for dinner. You make macaroni necklaces like that? You just put a tube of macaroni over your head? No. We usually put it on a string. Oh, this one's my favorite part. Are you ready? Okay, this one's my favorite. June 15th. My older sister thinks she is so pretty. I told her that no matter how much time she spends looking in a mirror, that her face will always look like her rear end. Spider thought that was really funny, but Mom did not. July 4th. When I grow up, I want to be a Secret Service agent. Spider says I will have to be very careful because the president might step on me by mistake. It's a dangerous job, I told him, but someone's got to do it. Can you imagine the worm protecting the president? Isn't that interesting? July 28th. 3 things I do not like about being a worm. I can't chew gum. I can't have a dog. And all that homework. Do you want me to read homework that he's got? He's got digging, a history, soil through the ages, my casting journal, night crawler, like a night, and then compost 101. Are those subjects that you do in school? Do you think that we talk about compost 101? Or do we do things like science and math and stuff? Yeah. 3 good things about being a worm. I never have to go to the dentist. Oh, no cavities, no teeth either. I never get in trouble for tracking mud through the house. Ooh, do any of my friends get in trouble for tracking mud through the house? I do. Yep. And I never have to take a bath. Who's my grubby little boy? August 1st. It's not always easy being a worm. We're very small, and sometimes people forget that we're even here. But like Mom's always says, the earth never forgets that we are here. All right, my friends. What'd you think of that book? Was it good? Bad? It was okay? Yeah. So I want to show you a video, okay? And we are going to watch a worm. I don't think it'll have any sound, okay? And we're going to watch a video of a worm, and I want you to make some observations. So we're going to be looking with our eyes, and we're going to be noticing some things, okay? So let me maybe share my screen. All right, should you see my video? Thumbs up if you see my worm. All right, let's go ahead. And we will start it. So we're just going to be making some observations. Oh, whoa, whoa, here it goes. All right, my friends. So, what are some of the things you noticed watching our video? So, let's see. I think that you should be able to unmute yourself. So if you want to unmute yourself or put it in the chat, what were some things that you noticed about that worm we just watched? What were some things that you noticed or you saw? So, all right. So John says that it was sticky. Yeah, they're nice and they kind of have a little bit of sticky. That's a good word to use, right? They need to be a little damp and they can breathe through their skin. So that's a good observation from John. What other observations do we have from my friends? Oh, all right. So we're noticing the way that it was moving. Okay, it was kind of urchin away. Oh, we were noticing that it was digging around on its tummy. That was a really good observation. Yes, we were noticing it was digging. Now, what other things did we notice? Oh, we noticed that it was dirty. Okay, yes, the worm was dirty. What other things did we see? Did anybody notice how do you think it would oh, very good. We noticed that it had a band on it. Yeah, what do you think that band does? Oh, and the color of it, that it was brown and pink. We noticed he was trying to find food. Right. Yeah. So when we said it had a band on it. So what my friends probably saw was this big, we'll say saddle. Okay. Right here. Okay. And what that is that's where it has a lot of its special organs. And that's where it's going to. Did you know that worms lay eggs? Who knew worms laid eggs? Put your thumb. Who knew worms laid eggs? Oh my goodness, I have some really smart friends in here. I have some friends that knew that they laid eggs, and I have some friends that didn't. So that's where our worm is going to lay eggs from. Yeah. So we're noticing that it was dirty, right? They live in the soil, right? And did you know that? Can anybody remember what some of the things were in our story that the worm liked to eat? What do we think our worm liked to eat?
Hey Amanda, I'm gonna mute you for a second so that people can unmute themselves. So you probably have to people should be able to unmute themselves now.
Here we go.
Oh, thank you, Monica. I thought I figured it out, but I did not. All right. So yes, my friends, we can unmute ourselves and make some observations about our worms.
Did you find it?
So
I did not know worms laid eggs.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, worms lay eggs. Isn't that cool? And they go through this cool life cycle. Yeah, they start off as an egg and then they hatch out and they're little tiny itty bitty worms. Whoa. And then they'll grow into the big worm that we saw. Isn't that neat?
Yes.
It's so cool.
Huge one.
Yeah. Do you know, my friends, I was researching the big, can you show me how big do you think the biggest worm is in the world by your hands? How big do you think the biggest worm is in the world? Do you think it's this big? Do you think it's this big? How big do you think the biggest worm is?
You can't even see your arms because you have them so big.
How big? Okay. So most worms are probably this big, right? Do you want to know what the world's biggest worm was? Are you ready? It was as big as an Olympic swimming pool. A swimming pool. That's how, can you imagine a worm being the size of a swimming pool? No. So there's lots of different types of worms. We have earthworms or night crawlers or red wigglers. So there's lots of different types of worms out there. But the worms that we have, what do they eat? Who could remember some of the things from our story that the worms eat or some observations we made about the worm in our video? What do they eat?
Grass.
Okay.
Dirt.
Grass. Dirt. Okay. Paper. Yes, somebody remembered from our story. They will eat paper. Right. So worms will eat leaves and grass and dirt and paper, and they make dirt that has a lot of soil that has, they call them castings, is the nice term for worm poop. We call it castings, okay? And so they are lots of good stuff for plants to use and grow really big, okay? So they're castings. And they also, do you remember when the worm was digging through the soil? He creates some air in the soil and it helps our plants to grow. So our worm friends can help our plants.
That's
Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. What other observations can you share with me about our worm friends?
yeah. We're stretching.
Yeah. Why do you think worms come out after it rains? Do you remember in the story where they were afraid of hopscotch? So why do you think a worm would come out after it rains?
Because it could drown in the soil.
Okay, so we think the soil's too wet and they might drown. That's a good observation. What other things do we think of? Why would a worm want to come out while people are playing hopscotch?
Maybe they might have lots of blood in their home.
Okay, so there might be a lot of water in their hole. Yeah, and they have to come out. That's a good idea. Oh my goodness, you're right. Yeah. So they want it to be, we talked about how they're kind of slimy, right? Their skin is kind of sticky, I think is the word that John used before. But they don't want too much water because then they have a hard time breathing through their skin if there's too much water, right? And so they have to come out of the soil when it's too wet. And that's why sometimes after it rains, we see them on the sidewalk. Yeah.
The other day, I saw there were some dead worms on my grandma's patio. A lot, like 24 or so.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sometimes they come out and yeah. My friends, what are some things that eat a worm? So we talked about what worms eat. What might eat a worm?
Bird. Chicken.
Bugs, birds, eagles, birds.
Chicken.
Chicken. Yeah.
Fish.
Just babies.
One more time, Levi.
They might eat for babies.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. Do we think a frog would eat a worm? Like a frog or a lizard? Oh, a mole? That's really good. Yeah, so lots of things like to eat worms, don't they? Yes. So the next time it rains, I want you to go out and look for, a fox. Yeah, lots of animals like to eat worms, don't they? So when it rains next time, will you keep an eye out and see if you can find some different worms and maybe make some observations on how big your worms that you find are and if they're the same or different? Do they look similar and they look the same, or do you think that they're different ones? Okay.
Foxes might eat worms.
What might eat a worm?
Fox.
You're right. A fox might want to eat a worm. Usually it's things like frogs or lizards, but yeah, I suppose a fox could eat a worm if it was hungry. Yeah.
Maybe a worm can eat a worm.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness, friends. So I hope that you had fun learning about worms today. And the next time you're out and about, keep an eye open for some worms, okay? Because they are pretty cool critters and they do a lot of good things for the earth, okay? So, my friends, thanks for joining us here today. Next week is going to be a fun week. We're going to talk about something special with Miss Monica, okay? So thanks for joining me today. I
Thank
hope you
you.
had fun.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye,
Bye.
my
Have a good day.
friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.